It is the most interactive professional wrestling discussion show on the internet. WWE, Ring of Honor, Impact Wrestling. This is In the Hot Seat with your host, Fortminorproject.
Alright, what's going on, guys, and welcome to this week's episode for In the Hot Seat. And of course, as always, got a great show lineup for you guys. And as well with my guest joining me at this time, where would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is ManOnFire310. I live in the 310 in the house on fire. I am 6'1", 240 pounds. My waist size is a 40. Losing a little weight, but, you know, I'll get there. And I have red hair. How's it going?
Alright, it's a pleasure to have you here on the show. Of course, as always, we got a couple of topics right here to get through. And with the first topic that I have here, what are your thoughts on Bobby Roode winning the World Heavyweight Championship and turning on James Storm?
Obviously what a lot of people think, and what probably is the most common interpretation of this, I would say, angle, is that he should have won at Bound for Glory. They had this hype going perfectly for a few months, and they made Robert Roode look like $1 million, and they were just like, yes, he's going to beat Angle, he's going to have this great win, this big celebration. And then apparently Hulk Hogan decided not to give Roode the belt because he quote-unquote wasn't ready, which is complete BS because Robert Roode is the current champion and he beat James Storm. And where they came up with just giving the belt to James Storm and then having Roode beat him is completely out of left field, because it doesn't make your champion look strong. It makes him look goofy. It makes him look like, oh, he couldn't do it now, so he had to cheat to win. And it's like, I know that's the heel aspect, but you built him as a face and then you turn him heel, and it just doesn't play out very well. But I'm happy for the guy. I mean, I've heard that he's a dick in real life, but I'm happy the guy's the world champion. Happy he's getting the proper notoriety that he should, and I hope he has a good, successful reign, and hopefully he turns the wrestling aspect of TNA around.
Yeah, and I do give him his props too as well. You know, we're having, you know, basically a veteran winning here, and we've seen it with Bobby Roode and James Storm. So this whole thing could have done, you know, played out differently, and had the payoff of Bound for Glory with we had the Bound for Glory series and all that. But you know, fortunately that wasn't the case. And you know, with that being said, we have now James Storm as the new World Heavyweight Champion. So I would have preferred this turning point to have this whole, you know, feud eventually, you know, kick off, and you know, have the start to the feud last like basically a couple of months. You know, not for too long, but you know, just have a good series between them, and you know, have a good feud with them, and you know, have right after that, then see where James Storm could face, you know, with other guys, and have different guys come into the mix. So I do give, you know, James Storm his props and everything, so we'll have to wait and see where that's gonna go. So that's basically it with my thoughts on that. And my next topic is that I have for you, and what are your thoughts on Gail Kim winning the Knockouts Tag Team Championships with Madison Rayne, and what do you think this is gonna go from here?
To be honest, the women's division or the Knockouts division, I must say, for TNA is a lot like the WWE mid-card. There's a lot of it going on, and there's not enough to kind of look forward to besides these little personal grudges. But TNA is never very smart on non-title grudges, if you know what I mean. So you have Velvet the champion, you have Madison Rayne, kind of the top heel, and you have the tag team championships, which were won by Gail Kim and Madison Rayne. So as far as Gail Kim goes, she debuts and attacks the Knockouts champion. She's brought in as Madison Rayne's tag team partner, or her bitch, basically, and it's kind of a sweet and sour kind of thing. The good thing is, you know, she has a job, she's doing something productive, she's doing something for a wrestling career, and it's working well, you would say, because it's better than not doing anything on WWE. And she's probably not making as much money, but she's doing something good, and it's kind of a bad thing because she's not recognized for her awesome talent. She's not recognized for her, like, she is not in the spotlight. She is making sure that Madison Rayne's in the spotlight. So it's kind of it's like a win-lose was a 50-50, what have you. But I'm happy for her overall. I mean, I can't say that she's dumb for going to TNA because it's better than not doing anything in WWE.
Yeah. And I'm happy for her too as well, winning the championship, but it kind of took me by surprise that she actually went for that and is in a tag team with Madison right now, so I guess they're going to have her, be a double champion. I know she, attacked the champion Belle Sky, during her debut and everything, so I figure right after that she would go after the Knockouts Championship and have a little feud there and, win it overall, but, I guess we'll have to wait and see where that goes too, so she might be, working her way up, I guess, so it's definitely going to be interesting, so, I am actually liking Gail Kim and Madison Rayne as a tag team, and with the whole heel, role that Gail Kim is doing right now, so, it's definitely going to be real interesting to see what's going to happen with that too as well. And the next thing that I got here, as we move along, and what are your thoughts of former WWE stars going into Impact Wrestling and having a major push right away, and what are your thoughts on that?
Oh boy, this kind of this speech or whatever I'm about to say is a few years old because you look at back to the main event Mafia with Angle, Nash, Booker T, Steiner. Besides Sting, they're all from WWE. I mean, they made their careers in WWE, and I'm not. Besides WCW, they all were names in WWE and not TNA because. I mean, you had the whole Angle thing come in, like Angle would come in, Christian Cage, Sting, just all these outside talent, and you would not have them build up the younger talent, like the AJ Styles, the Christopher Daniels, the Samoa Joes, the Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, etc., etc. You'd have them be the top guys, and that was really kind of the downfall of TNA because when you had, Jeff Jarrett, AJ, Daniels, the X Division as a whole, that was just a huge, huge thing in wrestling at the time, back in 05, 06, and because it was more of an alternative of WWE. Like WWE, you would have Triple H, John Cena, Randy Orton, Triple H, John Cena, Randy Orton, and it'd be the same thing over and over again, and just these boring matches, and then you click on TNA Wrestling, and you'd have that amazing match from 2005 of Daniels, Joe, and AJ, and you'd have Ultimate X, you'd have these high-flying tag matches, these high-paced triple threat matches, all stuff like that, and it was completely different. And then once they brought in the main event Mafia, you had all these old WWE guys, the ones I guess besides Angle, and you'd have all these old guys come in and not necessarily bury the talent, but kind of overshadow the talent. Like, people would be watching to see this great wrestling when you would have, just kind of as an example, you would have 60, 70 minutes out of the 120 minutes be just all surrounding the main event Mafia, and that's not even just counting the matches. I mean, I remember one Impact, I think it was one of the ones that actually turned me off of TNA wrestling in 2000, and it was around lockdown when Mick Foley faced Sting.
Okay.
I think there was 10 minutes of wrestling, if that, on the entire program, and it was all promos and all hype for this shitty pay-per-view, basically, and you had the spotlight completely surrounding the drama and the story instead of actually the wrestling, when that's what TNA was built up from, was being the alternative, being the wrestling program, not the entertainment program. So, but that kind of got off topic for a second, but all the old guys coming back, all the WWE vets or WCW vets or what have you, coming in and outshining all the real talent. It's really disappointing because, I mean, if it was good, it'd be one thing, because Angle can work a 4-star match with a broom, and Sting, not Joker Sting, let me just say that, can cut a good promo, can get you into him, but in the ring, he's just not good at all. But it's never a great thing, and it's never just a drop-dead horrible thing. It's kind of just a whatever thing with the old guys, except for Hogan and Sting at Bound for Glory. That was just horrible.
Yeah, with me, that actually pretty surprised me, so I'm not really going to talk bad about that too much. But I already basically gave my thoughts on the review. So, you know, basically, with the topic and all that, you know, they're actually in a way kind of doing a little bit better now. We're seeing, you know, guys like Bobby Roode and James Storm getting at least some of the chance to become world champion. Hopefully, you know, it'll continue that way. We'll see more veterans, you know, get a chance. Maybe AJ Styles one more time, and a couple of the other guys. So, yeah, that's a good thing in itself. So hopefully, you know, they'll keep it up with that. And you know, to extend, it's alright to see, you know, a former, you know, WWE superstar or diva, you know, come on in and go into TNA and win a championship right away. So, you know, with Gail Kim, you know, basically coming up from WWE and right away winning the Knockouts Tag Team Championships, you know, that's fine pretty much in itself. It gives, you know, basically the slow build up into going into actually becoming Knockouts champion. So, you know, they're actually doing better, like I said. So, that's basically it. With my little brief thoughts on that, and basically now moving along to the final topic that I have here, and that is The Rock, and The Rock basically coming into Survivor Series and wrestling in his first match since 7 years, so it's going to be really cool to see. I'm definitely looking forward for that, and I know The Rock is supposed to be wrestling, I believe, part-time right after that, and you know, just test the waters basically. And with that being said, with my topic, what you know, basically top 5 matches, I'll give it that. What do you think The Rock that should be wrestling, and what matches would you like to see him wrestle, basically?
Top 5 matches that I'd like to see The Rock wrestle, if he's going to come back for just pay-per-views, basically, and if he's going to continue on after WrestleMania. So, besides the obvious one, Rock and Cena, I'm actually going to be there live, and it's going to be amazing. I'd like to see Rock and Punk have some kind of promo. Rock and Mark Henry, that'd be pretty interesting. It'd be probably not that great of a match, but if they had some kind of program going, it'd be pretty cool to see. 2 more. Rock and outside wrestling, actually, for this one, I'd like to see The Rock come in and kind of just own John Laurinaitis and Triple H, and kind of be like, yeah, I was the Raw GM all along. Say he was the one on the laptop, even though he's the one that whatever told off the laptop or what have you when he first came back. He just have him behind all that and kind of say, yeah, I was a special host of WrestleMania and I'm the permanent GM. I mean, that'd be pretty cool. It's that'd be interesting. And last one, who's there? I'd probably have to go with like someone like Rock, and actually Rock Cena versus Miz and Truth. I mean, if they continue this, then that'd be cool, because it would bring R-Truth and the Miz's credibility up, and it'd probably have some kind of, I don't want to say irony, but a different environment for the old school Rock fans and the new school Miz fans, because a lot of people like to compare the Miz and the Rock, because not only is their first name they have nothing but catchphrases, you know, screaming, I'm the Miz and I'm awesome, you smell what the Rock is cooking, or if you smell what the Rock is cooking, and like the crowd would play along to it. I mean, they're both great on the mic. Rock's better than Miz in the ring, but I'd say they're both alright in the ring. So a lot of people like to actually, if I can just change my answer to Miz and Rock. So that'd be pretty interesting on the mic, kind of go back and forth, and it'd be a fun program.
Yeah, there's so many, you know, different standards that you can do with this, you know, to have The Rock in, since there's basically new guys that he hasn't really faced yet. Definitely, you know, going to the obvious one with The Rock and John Cena, I would have loved to see that live, but unfortunately, I don't think I would be able to, but we'll have to wait to see where that goes. But, you know, I still will be looking for it nonetheless, and especially to see how The Rock and John Cena are going to coexist as a tag team, and see how that's going to play out going into WrestleMania. And I'm sure the WrestleMania match will be good. and I'm sure The Rock hasn't, lost a beat yet, and doesn't really have too much ring rust, going into his matches, and, basically being part-time. So I do have some the top 5 matches that I would like to see, and some basically in a way repeating, but getting into my top 5, and with number 5, The Rock and Chikara. I actually think that would be somewhat of an interesting match, just to see how, The Rock and Chikara are going to do with one another, so it definitely be an interesting match. Number 4, I got The Rock against Alberto Del Rio. Again, that should be a good match between these two, and see how these two are going to lock up. Number 3, The Rock and CM Punk. Like you mentioned before, I think it would be a good match between these two, and we've seen basically CM Punk, call out The Rock on a number of occasions, so, to have that match actually happen would be actually pretty cool in itself to see. Another one, going into number 2, The Rock against Bryan. I think will be another good match to see between these two. We'll be looking forward for that. And number 1, I got The Rock against Randy Orton. And this one, we didn't really have this officially happen. I know we had an altercation, I want to say 2004, I think it was, once before The Rock was on his way out, and we never really got that underway. I know we only had basically a promo, so it would be interesting to see how they're gonna do with the feud, and to see how that's gonna go. So definitely another match that I would like to see, and those are my top 5 matches I would like to see against The Rock once he officially basically has his match with John Cena. So that's basically it with all the topics and everything that I got planned for In the Hot Seat for this week. Is there anything else you want to give your final thoughts on before we end the show here?
You can, if you do subscribe to me, which you can, ManOnFire310 is my YouTube channel. Follow me on Twitter. I like to plug myself for my Twitter in my videos, and also on a unrelated note, and which I might get heat for, order Chikara's first pay-per-view, High Noon. It will be on my channel, on my next video, actually, which I might be making later today. So if you subscribe, follow me on Twitter, order Chikara High Noon. Chikara is basically in one word, fun. It's a awesome promotion. If you follow Ring of Honor and you don't like it because it's too serious, because of lack of storylines, then Chikara is the place for you, because it's literally a wrestling school that brings in outside talent, that puts masks on everybody, that has good matches, very, 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 very funny, and a few serious storylines here and there. They're going to crown the first Chikara champion, and if you haven't had the chance, check out King of Trios. It's highlighted by one of the nights out of 3 nights, El Generico and X-Pac, actually, which is a great match. So yeah, order Chikara High Noon, follow me on Twitter, subscribe, and have a nice day.
Alright, so we'll definitely, of course, leave a link to your Twitter account as well as your channel, and even a little link for Chikara there. Of course, I've checked it out myself not too long ago, so I will be trying my best to check it out. So I like to try and follow everything. I'm basically getting into Ring of Honor more often, so I will have to wait and see where that goes. So that about does it for this week's episode for In the Hot Seat. Of course, guys, definitely comment on what we talked about. Feel free to leave a video response, and feel free to check out my guests, and be sure to mention to them that I sent you there. And that about does it for this week's episode of In the Hot Seat. Of course, as always, I will talk to you guys later on. Peace.
See ya.